Okay, let's talk about gym goals and let's talk about why you need a gym in the goal in the gym, why you need a gym and a goal. Oops. Well, why you need a goal in the gym, how having a goal in the gym can help you, how to make that goal in the gym, how to put your clothes away, how to look at some random chart of metabolism. You get me. So, oh my goodness, that was atrocious. Let me switch this to what it's supposed to be. Boom. What should your goal be in the gym? Another of the newsletter posts. And as we all know, no one accidentally put on 60 pounds of muscle. Except me. Last week I was feeling a bit crazy. So I just went to sleep. Just went to sleep and woke up. I decided in my sleep to put on that amount. So yeah, feeling pretty good about that. But that's besides the point. Most people can't do that. I've just got some special genetics. So anyway, read time is going to be 3 minutes here. And you will probably already know that. For some reason, look, I'm going to be real. As important as this video is going to be and how much easier it is to digest, because you can just, instead of having to, sit there reading and thinking, you're given more explanation and we're kind of adding in points and bringing things together. Even though that's the case, if you sat down and read these all, you would probably save time. But you can't really read something whilst cooking, although that is why I have these, I don't, basically, on some of them, or at least on the older ones, it's now a premium feature on my publishing, software, but you can add a little narration. And so that narration was my way of helping you guys, do some cooking and listen. That's not a thing anymore. So the videos are a thing because you can play them and then do some cooking, do some eating, whatever you want. But that's besides the point. Clear goals are how you achieve goals. What do I mean by that? Well, this sounds stupid. It sounds really stupid. And it sounds stupid when it's said that way because it makes so much sense. There is so much truth to this, and yet it's something where you still need that reminder. It's like no one's going out there, there's a little dust on my monitor, no one's going out there believing that this isn't the case. They believe it's 100% true, and yet that doesn't mean they're acting on the belief that it's 100% true or really committing to solving that problem. So, the kind of takeaway here is if you have no direction, you will spend your entire life seeking that direction because all you really know is where you want to get to. This is where you want to get to. And the path could be this if you actually sat there and thought about the goal, thought about making this clear and then breaking it down and making a plan. You could go boop, but because most people have a vague idea of where the goal is, it's almost like it's always moving because they don't even entirely know what it is, right? Let me make this bigger. This is your goal and it's always moving. Okay, and then this is you, and you're trying to get to your goal. So you're going this direction, and it goes down here, and then you go, and then and you're going all around the place trying to get to this goal. When in reality, this goal isn't some sort of phantom thing moving everywhere. It's here, and you're here. So if you want to get there, you just have to go like that. You just have to follow the plan. And now when you're following the plan, you might not follow it 100%, right? That might be what's going on. Something might happen, an obstacle, you get an injury and you plummet down there, or who knows. But the point is, you're not going in some weird direction to get there because you actually know where you're trying to get to. It sounds simple, I know. Also, I love One Piece. That's why we got Luffy here. But anyway, why not skip the seeking and start the journey? The aim of this is to, imagine this is walking around and getting there is 2 years because for most of it, you're just going in different directions. The aim is to skip that 2 years of working out where this even lies in, 10 minutes or so. However long the video is going to be, you can press on it and it will tell you. And you should subscribe because that's useful too. But here's Luffy. He's going to be the Pirate King. This is his goal. His goal never changes. He knows that's what he needs to do. Actually, I don't think it's his goal. I think it's more something he needs to do to reach his goal. But he's dead set on that. He knows exactly what it is. And that means whatever he's doing is the pursuit of that goal. He's never going to do something which works against him becoming the Pirate King. Every single thing in his life is lined up and he goes, that path's going to take me there. That path's going to take me there. That path's going to take me there. I am not doing that. That is not the right move. And this is all that goes through his mind. But he's also very aware of the time involved where maybe you have to spend a few years doing something, whatever you want, right? Like, for instance, let's say I'm hitting the gym, and I know that so long as I follow a certain amount of steps, in 2 years I'm going to get somewhere. Then in those moments of the 2 years, so long as I'm meeting those steps, the rest of it's having fun. It's kind of doing what you want to do, because when you view the steps being done, and you also know that this isn't a detriment, you can have that fun. You can have those friends. You can save people, whatever Luffy does, right? But that's not the point. There's a reason I asked you what your goal was. And this is the title of the newsletter, of the video probably too. There's a reason I asked this. It's because when I first started working out, I had no clear goal. Sure, maybe in my eyes, maybe in the back of my mind, maybe I saw that as wanting to look good, but I'd go from powerlifting to building muscle to wanting mobility to, I don't know, it was just a mess of like random things where random stuff would be thrown in. Now I'm doing forearm training, now I'm doing neck training, now I'm doing this and that, I'm training my tibialis, I'm training my Olympic lifts, and it's sort of like, what am I actually doing here? And so this ends up leading to really poor training, but also really poor programming. And the biggest problem, at least for me, is I had no idea of where I'm supposed to be looking to achieve my goal, because I don't have a goal. The second you know a goal, it's very easy to be like, oh, I just need to learn all about this topic because this is a goal. But no, because there's all these different things. I don't even know what the goal is. I'm just walking in circles. This is the power builder trap. Everyone knows power builders. If you've been in here, in this community, if you've watched videos for a while, power builder is like someone with a goal that basically sucks. They want to be strong. They want to have really good lifts, the big three, the squat, the bench, the deadlift. But they also want to be big. They want to have the muscle side. And it's really quite sad, because at the end of them putting all this work into power building and following power building programs and all that, they end up smaller than powerlifters and weaker than bodybuilders, which is really sad. It's really backwards too, because you'd think, oh, bodybuilders should be weaker than powerlifters and powerlifters should be smaller than bodybuilders. But these powerbuilders, they get the bad side of both, okay? And this might be something that you've seen as well. A bigger point going on to that, when I asked you what your overall goal is, you might have had something in mind. You might have not had something in mind. Doesn't really matter. But odds are most people have a really basic version of their goal. It might be something along the lines of getting big, getting strong, whatever. You might not entirely understand the application of this, and that's what's going to be built on. But we're trying to find right now the essence of the goal, what I call the essence. So for instance, if I just want to look good, that's the essence of my goal, but I need to make it tangible, I need to tie it to something. And the bigger part from like me is the second I know what the essence of your goal is, that's cool. I can teach you, because now I know what you're looking for. But you have to give this essence form. You have to mold it into something. This is because no one on earth wants bigger muscles, right? That is not the goal, to get bigger muscles. That means every single muscle in the body is bigger. My heart is bigger. That's bad. My ears are bigger. I don't know. But you know what I mean. Like, we're getting all these things bigger. That isn't the goal. That's obviously not the goal. My waist bigger. Do we really want that? And this is what you're kind of hopefully starting to notice. We have to dig deeper, because a great goal will keep you, 1, motivated, 2, aiming in the right direction, and 3, asking the right questions. These are literally the 3 most important things that you can have in your toolbox. When you're motivated, it means you're going to show up every single day. It means you're not going to quit. It means you're going to get to the goal faster. It means the direction to the goal is going to be better. It means the dedication to getting there is going to be stronger, because you understand where you're trying to get. You're motivated to get better, better resource, better knowledge, a better path, aiming in the right direction. I mean, dude, you have a proper goal now. So it means that instead of it flying around the place, it's static. So you're always going to aim in the right direction, because your training, your plan will become a compass towards it. And now a compass is only good as the knowledge and the tools you have. So even though, imagine this is true north, even though you think that based on your compass, what you have, your knowledge, even though it's pointing in what you believe to be true north, it might be a little bit skewed. And that just means we have to make a better compass. But that's completely fine, because you can make a better compass. I mean, watching this channel, subscribing to the videos, watching questions that you need answered, that's how you make a better, well, not bigger, maybe bigger for you, depending on your goal, but that's how you make a better compass. And asking the right questions. If I want to get from here to here, I need to know everything that makes me travel this distance, and also everything which makes me get here in the fastest way possible. That is so simple, because we obviously know this is a straight line, and the straight line would represent the progress, but the speed in which I traverse this line is a different thing entirely. If I was going to go to the other side of the earth, would I walk? Probably not, because there are better ways to get there. Now, running is not a good way to get there, but who knows? The distance involved in here, the best tool to get there could be running. But other guys, they're going to need the car, they're going to need the plane, they're going to need the boat, they're going to need all these other things, and we might even have a multi-step process. They might need to walk to the train station, they might need to get the train, then travel on the coach, then get the plane. Like, there's so many things involved. And that is where asking the right questions lied. Now, this good goal is found by adding individuality. Individuality is something which is the sum of your personality, your character, and your interests. This makes a lot of sense. Interests could be something as simple as, I like these exercises more, and that will get you there better because you're more motivated, you're more passionate about the exercise itself, and you're getting progress from it. Now, sure, there are exercises where it's so bad, where it would make more sense to do a different thing, but for the most part, that's not the case. Your character is something where maybe you need to show up in your family. Do you think you're going to show up in your family if you place your gym time at a certain time where you have a certain amount of frequency or a certain amount of days with, 3-4 hour sessions, regardless if that's beneficial or not? Do you think that's going to fit your character if it means now you're not spending time with the people you love? No. It's going to get to a point where you're going to notice you're pulling away from your friends and family unintentionally, and you're going to pull out the gym, and you're going to pull out of your life, and you're going to feel really bad, and you're going to have months away, and then you're going to be weighing things and questioning what's actually right for your life, when in reality you never even had to make that choice. Your personality is very easy too. It's just, what do I like? Similar to interests. It makes sense, right? This even, not really to go on another tangent, but this even shows up in like the music you like. Music is one of the best tools in getting you in the zone in the workout. Imagine you're listening to music you hate when you work out. It's not going to be a good workout. Imagine you're listening to music you love when you're working out. It's going to be a great workout. But that is beside the point. Some guys want very huge shoulders, very wide shoulders. I don't know if I have that. Doesn't matter. And they want really wide lats. This is the David Lade sort of physique, right? That tiny waist, the wide shoulders, the wide lats. Other people want to be a mass monster. They want the blocky waist for some reason. They want the huge shoulders. They also want the huge waist, but they want everything to be huge, where they literally look like a Roblox character. And that's what they're going for. They want to look like they're coming from another universe. They're not the perfection of man. They are the perfection of muscle. They are like a living cow. A living cow who's at 0% body fat. That's what they're trying to be. They're not trying to be like some sort of Greek god, okay? These are completely different things. And this is what I mean. This is your individuality. What do I want here? Do I want the old school tricep sweep where it goes beyond the rear delt? Or do I want the rear delt to be bigger so it looks like I have better shoulders and bigger shoulders and it's more of that Greek god aesthetic thing? I don't care which one you want, but you have a preference. And this is what adding individuality goes. Because all of these things that you want in your goal itself are valid. And when you make your goal better and give it structure, you first off end up finding the essence of your goal. What is it actually the goal is? Am I just trying to get bigger? Am I trying to get stronger? If we had to put it into like a 5-line phrase, I want to get big, I want to get strong, I want to get flexible, I want to live longer. What are we putting down? That is the essence of a goal. Then we add substance to the goal. We add that individuality. If I want to live longer, we're going to tie it to something. I want to live longer by strengthening my body, by making myself flexible, and by eating well. I want to make myself bigger by focusing on the shoulders, focusing on the lats, trying to minimize the size I have on my waist, trying to make huge arms, trying to have huge legs. Maybe I don't even care about legs. You see what I mean? We're adding something to this. We're molding this essence into something of substance, something that we understand, and something that lets us put together a better compass that aims us in the right direction to get where we actually want to go. I think what you have to understand too is when it comes to this, most people when they start the gym think they need to do the squat, the bench, the deadlift. This might not be part of your goals. These are not required lifts. And yet so many people think they're required, hate the lifts, do them, hate them, they get demotivated. This is something I even went through. I don't really like benching and deadlifting. It's just not something I'm a fan of. I'm a pretty big fan of squats, but that's the only one of the three I like. And if I ran around doing bench and deadlift every single week to, out of some belief that that's important, I'm not gonna be a happy guy. You don't need to do that. So we get the essence of our goal. We add the substance by adding your individuality. Then we have to write down where we believe we can get in 5 years with this goal. Maybe we're wrong, okay? Maybe we're overshooting, undershooting. It doesn't really matter, because when we're writing down these goals, we're doing it based on all the knowledge we have. And when we start strengthening that compass, when we're learning more, when we're motivated, we're looking in the right direction, we're asking the right questions, we might change our 5-year goal. But for now, we're just doing it based on what you need. And if you literally know nothing and you don't even trust yourself to have a 5-year goal, you can either pick something that's like 20% the way of where you want to get, or you can go out there and research and find out how far you can get to that goal, or if you even need to change your goal. But that's besides the point. We write down our 5-year goal. Then we write down where we think we can get in 1 year. Linked to this goal, including individuality. We're not focusing on the essence anymore. That's just something we say when someone says to us, "What do you go to the gym for?" "Oh, well, I go to the gym because I want to be big." Like, that is what's going on here. We are keeping this sort of substance to ourselves, and I'll go in more into that later. But when we've got our 1 year goal, we break it down into daily or weekly steps. This is what I'm doing today. This is what I'm doing this week. This is what this phase of my life is. And this is why we have something like a workout plan, a diet plan, because we're breaking it down, and it will change. Our plan is always changing. A bad plan is a plan that stays the same, because any plan that stays the same is not a plan made for change, and any plan that is not made for change is made to fail because you change. That was good. But that's besides the point. Here is how I would do it. This is me, pretend, or maybe it's not me, but it doesn't really matter. So, first off, number 1, I want to build muscle. This is my essence. Let's add some substance. Let's add some individuality. I want a small waist. I want a big thighs. I want big chest, big arms, wide shoulders, wide lats, thick back, big legs, big calves. Oh gosh. And I don't care about my strength from the big 3. This is actually fairly accurate. I think I wrote this about me. And then I go, in 5 years, I want that 24 FMI. I want to be 14% body fat. And that would mean that I'd have to be about 221 pounds at my weight. And then in 1 year, I want to be 22 FFMI. 14% body fat again. I put BF instead of body fat because this means I'm 40% boyfriend. And I would like to be I'd have to be 203 pounds for this. Assuming I don't, past the age of 22, start growing inches, which is definitely not happening. But that's not the point. After this, I work out the daily and weekly steps. And what are the daily and weekly steps? Well, this is about 3 to 4 workouts a week. It's also 150 minutes of cardio a week. Currently, it's a calorie deficit because when we make our daily, weekly steps, we're focusing on the now. And I'm focusing on my chest. It's a weak point compared to my back. Is it even a weak point? Who knows? As the cut continues, I might start to notice that maybe with my fats being stored, it's actually not a weak point. It just happened to be because there's not as much of a separation between the chest and the abdominal wall. Who knows? No one can tell. But that's why the plan changes. So yeah, this might be what my steps look like. And I would rather you had something that's a lot more detailed here, obviously. Like, this is just the footnotes. In reality, the plan would have the actual workout itself, the type of cardio, the meal plan, but this is just for me to demonstrate it to you. I'm not going to sit here writing a newsletter and waste your time by shoving in every single step of it. You know what's going on there. At least I hope you do. But that's besides the point. The plan, it's in all areas of life. We look at the diet, we look at the macros, the calories, the micros. Then we take a look at the workout. How are we reflecting our short-term goals? What are our weak points? We have to change around the exercise selection, the order, to bring those weak points up. And when I say weak points, remember, your weak points aren't some sort of objective thing. It is entirely subjective based on your goals. and your goals with substance, with individuality. It is not based on what someone else might view to be a weak point, because in truth that might not be something you even care about. Someone might consider my weak point my bench. I don't care about bench. That's not going to be part of my short-term goals. But that's besides the point. All of these come together and more. This is just, 2 areas of life and very, very short areas. Besides the point. All of these combine to reach that long-term goal. And so when someone asks me in the gym, they come up to me, yo, bro, you're looking so much bigger recently. Happens all the time. I'm not even joking. It happens genuinely all the time. I can't get them to shut up talking about how big I am. Very, very thankful. I throw the compliment back. It's usually true. But I tell them the essence of my goal. Imagine I'm sitting there telling someone my full definition. 1, they don't care. 2, that's so personal. That's like actually genuinely deeply personal to you. And I feel like it can also cause a lot of arguments, no? Especially if you have one that's against the sort of the typical goals someone has. Look at how many arguments exist when we talk about someone training for strength versus muscle growth, right? Or we look at the Mario Rios brothers targeting people who want to get big and talking about how it's useless and there's no functionality. There are so many arguments within even the essences, and we want to give them the whole thing. No, that is deeply personal. You can only tell few people about that. You might not even need to, though. You can just keep it yourself. Now, I'm a pretty fun guy, so I would love to hear about your specific goal. When you make it, throw in the description. I know I've just told you not to tell anyone, but literally go in the comments, reply, let me know what it is, because I think it's really cool, and it means we can keep each other accountable. I mean, you could even bookmark this video and literally use it to talk about your short-term plans and come back. Obviously, I'm going to give you some feedback and some criticism, making sure I'm tying it to your goal and not my belief on, the best thing to get some sort of arbitrary ending, actually focusing on you. I can come in, give you some tips. You can come in every sort of month or so, update your plan, say how things are going. Maybe your long-term vision's changed. That's completely fine too. But anyway, with the digestible steps involved in a plan, I made a flywheel. A flywheel is something that you'll probably see a lot from me. It's for anything that requires a loop where there's feedback, has a flywheel. So short-term goals are the intention of what the flywheel is doing, and it's kind of going to this master, and this master is your goal. Whether it be your long-term goal, what the 5-year or the 1-year one is, it's going to it. And of course, these may have its own flywheel, like the 1-year and the 5-year, but the goal itself doesn't have a flywheel, because for most people, the goal itself doesn't change. Unless maybe you realize that it's impossible to be 200 kg, pure muscle, minus 3% Ronnie Coleman style, and you're like 5'2". Unless you realize your goal is impossible, the goal does not change. Or if you, I guess if you change your goal, the goal can change. But that's besides the point. The goal does not have a flywheel for the most part. It's just something that changes. But the flywheel is something which tells you if your plan is working. Because if we look at the flywheel here, there are 3 things involved. We have the plan, and then this sort of part of the cycle here is us reviewing the plan. Honestly, I don't even know if my mouse shows up, which is a shame. But okay, this part here is when we're following the plan, and part of the plan, in honesty, should be some sort of way to expect feedback and take feedback and judge it. Something like looking at our progressive overload, comparing it to a table of what it should be, and I have some stuff on that you can find. I think the video talking about blah 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 plateauing, it was like 2 days ago. If you watch that video, that's what it is about. But yeah, this is what I mean. This is the review. Is me following the program? Is it getting me the results I expected? If not, we adjust it. Throwing my arm down there like a curve. That's the adjustment phase where we're looking at the review, we're realizing something's wrong, we're adjusting it, and then we're making a new plan. And this happens over and over and over and over. And yeah, we're not doing this every single day, okay? We're not changing things that often. We're having criteria that actually make sense for progressive overload. We're comparing it to it, we're seeing what our weak points are. We're not changing the program often, especially as a newbie. We literally want this to change maybe at least the workout bit itself. The workout bit itself should not be changing more than once a month. However, that could be completely wrong if you learn something and you're genuinely, it's from me and it's true, instead of from somewhere else. Maybe then you change it more often because you're actually taking in something which is important, and I wouldn't be telling it to you if it wasn't important. If it's your goal and it means that the path getting there makes more sense, then you do it. But this would just be for workout, right? The same flywheel exists for your diet, for your cardio, for the way you're taking your photos, for the supplements you're using. I don't know, I don't care. But all of those have a flywheel, and the other ones, maybe it's a bit quicker. Maybe the dietary one is every 2 weeks we take a look, see if we need to adjust. But that would be more of the macros, the calories. Maybe the other stuff is different. Maybe the micronutrients, we change what we're eating, we throw extra things in because we've looked at our profile and we realize we're not getting enough zinc in the day, or magnesium, or whatever. You see what I mean? Depending on what it is, the bigger scale things usually stay more consistent, and then as we go down to the small things, those are more available for change within the plan. Besides the point, like, I guess one thing we could say can change very, very quickly, very, very rapidly would be your music. The second the music doesn't work for you anymore, you just change it. That could happen inside your workout itself. Like, that could be your part of your plan. That is a plan. You might not believe this, but a playlist is a plan for the music you're going to listen to in your workout. It is a plan. It's part of the plan, dude. But that's besides the point. How you guarantee a plan works. Very, very cool, Fletcher. Anyway, see, something you have to realize is that static plans fail. Good plans are dynamic. I had that whole chorus about blah, 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 plan, which went really well. I've completely forgotten every single word of it, but I'm sure I'll forget to go back and clip it because it was a really, really important moment, but that's besides the point. When a plan's reviewed, the intention of the plan is assessed, we're talking about the goal, we're comparing it to it, and the plan becomes a subordinate to the truth. Here is the truth. This is the subordinate, and it's exposed, a light is shone on it, and then its effectiveness is judged. If it's not effective, we adjust, and a new plan is formed. The changes of the plan typically are going to be something like bulking and cutting, muscle biasing, the order, the priority, diet supplementation, volume, external factors, right? And who knows, maybe these don't change much, maybe they change a lot. There's other stuff that will be changing, but for the most part, these are the changes, because almost everything else is very, very stationary, where it doesn't really change much, because they're kind of like foundations to what is true, again, being a subordinate to the truth. But that's besides the point. No one woke up jacked by accident. Except me. I did it. And this is Zoro getting lost. This is a really, really funny thing, because in the One Piece universe, Zoro is known for getting lost. And this is what I mean, like, no one by accident, he's getting lost by accident. There's a bit of an inside joke in One Piece that they're going towards, finding the One Piece. And there's a joke that Zoro, in a session of being lost before, has stumbled into the One Piece. And there's a joke that when they find the One Piece, eventually, Zoro will go, oh, I've been here before. It's obviously not going to happen. It's just a funny haha. What's this even say? Yeah, having strong direction is a must in achieving your goals. Completely true, guys. So, this is why we need to be logging workouts, taking progress pics, because we don't just need the plan itself. We need a way to judge if the plan's effective. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Imagine we had a car, and we were trying to make the fastest car on Earth, and we're like competing against other people's cars, but none of the cars have a speedometer. So not only do they have no speedometer, but they have like we don't have a way of measuring a distance, so we don't know how long something is. We don't even have clocks, so we can't have time. Even if we had a distance that was being measured, we couldn't even time how long it took to do the distance. Like, no one's going to be able to know which car's the fastest other than by, like, looking at the cars individually, and they're all around the world, and being like, oh, I think that one was faster. Like, we literally have no clue which car's the fastest, because we don't have any way of reviewing it. And that's why a plan needs to review. We need to have the workouts being logged so we can see the progressive over there. We need to have progress pics being taken. We need to have weigh-ins and tracking our diet and seeing how the numbers go towards each other, and maybe we make a note of our activity roughly on that day to see what's going on there. And then we can ask ourselves, are we actually progressing? What's actually going in this area? So, if you want me to show you guys how I track and plan everything with muscle growth, you can tell me in the comments. You can actually don't even tell me in the comments, leave a like on the video. First subscribe, but then leave a like on the video, and if people actually are involved, well, Kara, not really involved, you know what, you can leave a comment as well. Subscribe, like, comment, and then if you care enough, if people care enough, I'll send over some photos. I'll make a YouTube video about it. I've been doing this for ages and kind of working on everything that I deem is important. The rest is sort of stationary. Not everything I do is reviewed, because some things don't need to be reviewed, but that's not the point. Yeah. Although there are genetic limitations, A good plan will minimize the bad and maximize the good. So that's pretty much everything in this video for today. Again, my clothes are here. My drawing of metabolism, which I totally did myself. It's not the... who cares? Thank you for watching. Leave a like. Leave a subscribe. Keep watching videos. I'm really enjoying going through my newsletter. Join the newsletter if you haven't already. But yeah, mostly just thank you for watching.